I'm a huge fan of seaming. I find that it adds structure and stability to garments, and it's not as scary as a lot of people think it is. So today I'm going to show you how to do the mattress stitch. So what I've done here is I've just anchored my thread in here, and I'm using a contrasting colour so that it makes it easier for you to see what I'm doing. And I've just anchored it in by looping it in twice. Now you can use your tail ends, so when you're making garments you might want to leave these nice and long so that you can use these for seaming and reduce all the weaving in, because I know that some people, you know, that's a real barrier, they don't like weaving in, so that's a good option. Anyhow, I didn't do that. I've got a contrasting thread that I've just anchored in here by looping twice. And then what you do next is, if you see at the edge of my fabrics, I've got a selvage here, and I've used a garter selvage, which means that on whether it's a right side or a wrong side row, I've done a knit stitch, and I've done the same on this one, although it's curling under slightly. So there you go, knit on every row on that edge stitch, and I've done it on both sides of the little swatch that I've knitted. So I'm going to go into the bottom corner of this piece of fabric. I'm going to make a figure of 8, and that just helps to level out that edge. And I'm doing it by finding that stitch here, so the knit on the edge of here, and I'm just going one stitch in into that little hole. So here we go. I'm just going to go, so I went from behind to the top, and I'm going from behind to the top again here. And I'm going to go from behind to the top. And that is properly anchored in, and I can give that a nice tug. Next, I'm going to go back into the hole that I came out of last time, and then I'm going to pick up 2 ladders. And this is really the basis of the mattress stitch. So going into the hole that you just came out of on this side already, and then coming out with like kind of 2 ladder stitches on your needle, and just pull that through. And you don't want to pull that too tight, you almost want to leave that a little bit loose initially, and we'll tighten that up in a moment. So we're going to go back into this, into the hole that we've just come out of on this side, and pick up 2 ladders. So you can see I've got 2 ladder stitches on my needle here, 1, 2. So I'm just pulling that through. And you'll see we've got 2 kind of loose threads there now going over. I'm going to continue to do this on both sides until I've got about 1 inch, and then we'll neaten it up. So I'm going under, picking up my 2 ladders, pulling it through. Going under, picking up my 2 ladders, pulling it through, under, picking up my 2 ladders, pulling it through. Okay, so we have about 1 inch there, and what I'm going to do now is just give that a good tug, and I ensure that I make it as tight as possible just by pulling on this end bit here, so the bit where it's been attached. Look, even though I'm using a contrasting thread, it looks really neat. You can barely see it coming through, and obviously when you're doing it you want to use the same yarn that you've used in the main body, so it's going to be absolutely seamless. So I'm going to continue going up here, and then you can see how it looks once it's been put together. Okay, so I've just seamed all the way up. Just gonna hold on to this bit here where it's already pulled together and just pull this final bit together. There we go. So you can see, you can barely tell that there's a seam there, as long as you stick to your selvages and you're only mattress stitching one stitch away from the edge, you should end up with a relatively seamless effect. It looks really quite neat. So again, at the top you can just do a quick figure of 8 just to make it nice and level. And obviously in the colour yarn that you're using, which matches, it's not going to be visible. Now you can just weave that end in.